From SWX Nonstop Local Sports, this is SWX Overtime, powered by Midway, Montana.
Welcome to SWX Overtime. I'm Spencer Martin, and hard to believe just 2 more regular season weeks ago before the playoffs get started, and we had a great matchup on the east side of the state over in Bozeman as Gallatin welcomed in Billings West. We had 2 games tonight broadcast live on SWX. West High Golden Bears 4-3 so far this season, taking the trip to Gallatin, and a good game, just 7-6 at halftime, 2 field goals from Jacob Conway. And then this guy, Quinn Clark, took over for the Raptors. We're going to show you that catch again because he just mosses the defense. Clark, of course, the Nebraska commit. And look what the future Cornhusker does here. Over 2 Golden Bears to put Gallatin up a little bit more. And then just a couple minutes later, this time they throw a little screen. Reese Dalkey out there to Clark. Yeah, he can do that too. Jukes out 2 West High defenders, just asserting himself in this ball game. It's 19-6 now. There's Grant Vegan in at quarterback. Now Clark showing the power, guys just bouncing off of him. 3 second-half touchdowns from Quinn Clark. The difference tonight as Gallatin ends up rolling Billings West High 27-6. The second game we had for you live on SWX tonight was over in the capital city as the Helena Bengals welcomed in the current top team in Western AA, Butte High. SWX's Jack Marshall was on the call and has our recap.
Jack Marshall here in Helena, whereas the Butte Bulldogs coming into town to take on Helena High. If Butte got a win, it could be the #1 overall seed in the Western AA. We'll see how it goes. Starting things off, first things first, Butte on their first possession, taking all the way down the field. Bo Damaris finds Russo Batterman for a passing touchdown. It looked like it might be all Bulldogs, but that's when Helena High struck back. Jackson Lieber got a touchdown catch early in the game, and the special teams got it done. Brett Grange with some big punt returns. A punt block later in the game for Helena High would help the Bengals win 33-7 over the Butte Bulldogs. Now a big win for Helena High, who has a chance to take the 3rd seed in the Western AA coming into the playoffs. They can host a home playoff game with that. But all in all, final here from Helena. Butte 7, Helena High 33. For SWX Montana, I'm Jack Marshall.
Big win for Helena. Thank you, Jack. Meanwhile, back here in the Magic City, Billings Senior had a date with Great Falls CMR. The Rustlers fighting for their playoff live. Senior High sits in the 4th spot in Eastern AA right now, right in the middle. In first quarter, seniors Jalen Rosas scurries in from 2 yards out, gets behind the big guys. Bronx go up a touchdown. Rustlers respond in the second quarter. Caleb Taylor buying some time in the red zone. In the back of the end zone, formers River Wesson tiptoes right there, stays in bounds. 2-pointer is good. It's 8-7 CMR, but a little later, CMR bobbles a punt, so the Bronx take over deep in the red zone, and Rosas takes advantage. Again, rumbles in from short distance. Senior up 14-8 at the half. In the second half, CMR trying to get something going. How about a reverse to the pass, and Wesson, dragged down by the defender, still finds a way on his back to haul that one in. They come up short, though, and the Bronx have a guy who's snagged a couple himself this season. McLean Berkeley always seems to bring it down, does so down the sideline, but tonight was all about Jalen Rosas. He runs in for 5 touchdowns tonight. Yes, 5 for Senior High, getting it done down there in the red zone. Bronx get a good win tonight on Senior Night, 34-15 over CMR. And again, shout out to the workhorse, Jalen Rosas, with those 5 trips to pay dirt. All right, we'll keep rolling with AA. Billings Skyview was on the road in Great Falls, taking on the Great Falls High Bison on a pink night there. 7-0 Bison at the half. Third quarter, the floodgates would simply open up for the Bison offense. Braden Rankin with the big run, just shoves a guy out there with his shoulder. No one from Skyview wants any part of him. They would set up this from Riley Collette, toss a Cole Azar for the touchdown. 14-0 Great Falls High. The defense was suffocating. The offense made the most of its opportunities. Falcons having a hard time down the stretch here. And here's Collette to Caleb Shore. That sure is good for 6. And it's not a reply. We got Shore again for another Bison touchdown. They pour it on in the second half as they shut out Skyview 40-0 tonight in the Electric City. Some other scores from round AA. Big Sky and Glacier. That one was on Thursday night. Wolfpack keep rolling. They're #1 now in the West, 56-21. Bozeman blows out Belgrade. Meanwhile, Capital and Flathead Bruins beat the Braves 28-7. And Missoula Sentinel in a crosstown game takes care of Hellgate 42-7 there. Meanwhile, over in the Pride Lands, the top two teams in Southeastern A met in Lockwood and Billings Central. Both teams without a loss in conference play with just those 2 regular season games left in the season. See if the Lions could stack up with the unbeaten Rams. Of course, Billings Central hoping to spoil senior night in Lockwood. A lot of good things rolling for that program. Central's first offensive play of the game, Duncan Nichols breaks off this 80-yard run. A lot of big explosive plays for Billings Central in the first half. We go to the second possession for the Rams. Quarterback Adam Balkenbush, really good on his feet, keeps it here, 20 yards out. He rumbles in, just shakes off a bunch of Lockwood guys. Love it when your quarterback can dip his shoulder and score like that. 14-0 Billings Central. The Rams pitched a shutout in the first half. Maddox Roberts runs down Lions quarterback Tice Castelline. Now Central's up 22-0, and how about this play? They're on their own 1. They run a quarterback sneak with Adam Balkenbush, and peekaboo, there he is. Out of nowhere, ends up going 99 yards to the house after breaking out of that pile. 29-0 Billings Central at the half. They keep rolling 29-8 the final over Lockwood. We keep rolling to a great Class B game between Shepherd and Baker Mustangs. Remember, just 1 loss for them so far. They're up a touchdown, but here's Baker's Jesse Brawley with the keepers able to find his way into the end zone. Spartans hanging right there with Shepherd early on. There's Aiden Lammers for the Mustangs, the top runner in Class B. That guy had over 400 yards rushing in 1 game last week. Getting it done again for the Mustangs tonight, leading that ground game. But Baker said, hey, we're not going anywhere. Jesse Brawley able to scramble, finds Tucker Miller in the end zone. Spartans back up in front. It's 14-12 at the half. Mustangs looking for more, and a great interception there by Baker's Chase Falmer. Everything going for the Spartans tonight. They hand Shepherd just their second loss of the season, 34-27, a huge win for Baker tonight on the road. Well, we're just getting started here on SWX Overtime. Still to come, we preview those matchups this weekend for Montana and Montana State football, but we're not done with our high school action. When we come back, we take a trip to Belt as they were hosting the Chinook Sugar Beaters. We also got to stop in Bridger for some more highlights in just a couple minutes. Thank you for staying with us. A big man and 8-man football tonight. A big game, that is, rather. Arlie stayed unbeaten with a 34-25 win over Valley Christian. I don't have those highlights for you right now, but you will be able to find those tonight on nonstoplocal.com. But what we do have right now are the Belt Huskies. 4-1 on the season, fresh off a blowout win over Harlem. Back at home tonight, welcoming in the mighty Chinook Sugar Beaters. Belt for 8-man action. The Huskies been really solid. They got the Sugar Beaters, of course, one of the best mascots in the state. And here we go. Huskies wasted no time getting on the board. Reese Paulson takes off down the sideline for 6 just on a race of his own. No one catches them. And next Belt possession, they keep laying it down. It's Paulson to Ethan Triplett. Fights his way in for the score, making a couple guys miss. 3 guys finally took him down there at the end, but it's a little too late. Chinook, big play of their own here. Ryan Bell, nice pitch and catch, dropping it right over the shoulder to Jamison Nordbo, but a Belt sack on 4th down would turn it over right when the Sugar Beaters had some momentum, and Huskies just had it clicking on both sides of the ball. Little screen, and it's not good when you have that many guys in maroon jerseys leading the way. 56-0, Huskies roll. In the 6-man ranks, Bridger is getting healthy down the end of the season here, and they're getting better as we start to look towards the playoffs. Tonight, they hosted Absorki in a 6-man clash. SWX's Caitlin McLean joins us now with the highlights.
A huge matchup tonight in Bridger as the Scouts and the Absorki Huskies, 2 of the 3 teams fighting for that 3rd and final playoff spot. Scouts get on the board first with a pick 6, but here come the Huskies. Tristan Phillips into the end zone for a rushing touchdown to even the score. The Scouts take the lead. Gage Goltz escapes and tosses a touchdown pass to Justin Dravetsky. And the Scouts then took control. Gage Goltz starts ducking and dodging. Nobody can bring him down. He gets all the way to the end zone. That touchdown got called back due to holding, but that was how the rest of the night went for the Huskies. Goltz breaks free again a few plays later, delivers a huge hit on the defender that tries to tackle him, and he's stopped just short of the goal line. The Scouts score on the next play. Goltz tosses an easy touchdown pass to Riley Calvig. Scouts up 29-14 at the half. The Huskies add one more in the second half. Jackson Gallagher to Phillips again, but the Scouts dominate in the second half. They get it done 69-28. From Bridger, Caitlin McLean, SWX.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. College football coming up tomorrow, and the Little Brown Stein is on the line between Idaho and Montana. Meanwhile, Montana State at home against Cal Poly. Here are your previews for Saturday's action.
It's always an exciting week to go play our second oldest rival. I know a lot of old Grizzlies really care deeply about this game, and I think both teams will probably be excited to play each other this weekend.
I think they're our biggest rival. I think this is a huge game. I mean, both teams are 5-1, so this has a lot of, just like in the old days, has a lot of implications for the Big Sky race and the national race, playoff positioning. So it's a huge game.
They first met in 1903. When the Grizz and the Vandals strap it up Saturday night, it's going to be for the 89th time. For Montana, they'll be looking for revenge after Idaho came into Missoula last year, possessed the ball for 42 minutes, and beat them 30-23.
I feel like it's going to be a good game because, some of us from last year still got that bitter taste in our mouth just from what happened last year. So, we're going to take this week strong and just try to exceed every day.
The feeling will be mutual on the opposing sideline.
I think it would mean a lot for me personally. I think Montana and Eastern Washington are like my two personal vendetta teams.
Idaho will be playing in front of a sold-out crowd on national TV, and they have the weapons of the like the Grizz have not faced this year. Stud quarterback Giovanni McCoy leads an offensive attack with all-conference running backs and perhaps the best trio of receivers in the country, led by All-American Hayden Hatton.
I think they have a lot of targets throughout their whole team. They can run the ball and throw it. I think they have a lot of dynamic people, and they should be a good opponent for us.
Possible advantages for Montana in this one. Vandals coach Jason Eck said they have to contain Junior Bergen, win the trenches, and Montana is +5 in turnover differential on the season, while Idaho is -2.
I think all three of those areas, probably special teams shutting down the returners, finding a way to run the ball, stopping their run game, and then the turnovers. I think those are probably, to me, the three biggest factors that I'm looking at right now.
Can Montana bring back the Little Brown Stein and notch a signature win that vaults them right back into Big Sky Conference contention? Or will Idaho defend the Dome before they welcome the other Treasure State team in their next matchup? We'll find out Saturday night.
Montana State football turns the page to October, which means the bye week is in the rear view and the stretch towards the postseason begins now. First up, the Cal Poly Mustangs, followed by road trips against two of the top teams in the Big Sky. But for the Bobcats, they're focused on the task at hand.
We talk about every single game counting the same at the end of the season. So no matter what, this game's going to be in our record. And so we don't treat it like any different than any other game. So I think the preparation is the same every single week for us. So
they're a hungry team and they're young. As long as you attack it week by week and really focus on that, it's not hard at all to really stay focused because we know at hand what the end goal is.
Cal Poly is 0-3 against the Big Sky thus far, losing by a combined 84 total points. Now, the Mustangs are also looking for their first win against Montana State since 2014. That was at home, though. The last time Cal Poly has beaten the Bobcats in Bobcat Stadium, you've got to go all the way back to 2004.
And I think our guys, recognize that this team has ability. They maybe hasn't quite clicked, but you can't get caught up in the scores and all that kind of stuff, and you certainly can't get caught looking ahead weeks down the road. I know that much.
Cal Poly already has their hands full with the Bobcat rushing attack, but now will have to prepare for touchdown Tommy Millott, who returns after missing a month due to injury. The Bobcats are tied with Georgia for the longest active home winning streak in Division I football at 23, and will look to extend that to 24 on Saturday night, with kickoff being scheduled for 6 p.m. In Bozeman, I'm Austin Parr for SWX.
All right, thank you, Austin. Some of those other scores: Laurel beat East Helena 31-6. Miles City shut out Hardin. Fergus got a tough win over Glendive 35-6, and Joliet over Colstrip 51-6. That does it for SWX Overtime. We wrap up the regular season for you next Friday night.